Welcome to the video. In this video we're gonna have a look at this here frame. It is a giant frame. Well, giant. It is a 7-inch frame from Caddx Machineworks, and this is of course the BangGOD. Now I've already reviewed the 5-inch version. This will be a little bit different but mostly the same. And again, in this video we're gonna have a quick look at it. Is it built well? Is it sturdy? Will it maybe be too heavy? Will it be too light? Well, yeah, too light, right. You were not expecting this frame here to be too light. Regardless, let's dig into it. Let's review this BangGOD 7-inch from Caddx Machineworks. Here we go.
You serious?
So here we have the frame, the Caddx Machineworks BangGOD. So not BangGOD, definitely very much not BangGOD, but BangGOD. And if, in case you don't know, this is a parody on BangGOD selling a lot of knockoff copied frames, right? So I got me this frame from iFlight in France. They are one of the few places in Europe you can get Caddx Machineworks frames. So, and I'm not sponsored, I bought this frame with my own money. So I'm not sponsored by iFlight or Caddx Machineworks at all. And I got me some decals from iFlight as well. iFlight, very much appreciated. Yeah, delivery was fast as always, so that's nice. And again, I think iFlight is one of the few places in Europe you can get these frames, and then you'll know you won't be paying import taxes or extra import taxes. In this video I'm gonna review this frame, and this will be kinda a kickoff for a build series for a cinematic cruiser, kinda a higher speed video capturing device, if you will. So higher speed than a 5-inch, than a typical 5-inch. I found that it's easier to fly 7-inch quadcopters faster, and especially not non-lightweight 7-inch quadcopters. So yeah, that's why I ordered me this frame. And again, I'll be doing build series, and I'll add a link in the top right corner to my playlist for this build series. Also, in case you're interested, in the description down below there will be a list of parts I'll be using, but I'll also be doing videos on the parts and how to install them in this frame. Okay, packaging, no frills, as always with Caddx Machineworks frames. But yeah, I guess you're not paying for elaborate packaging either. Everything was put into the frame this way. Okay, let's see what we have in this bag. Alrighty, the majority of things we see here is obviously carbon fiber plates, and they look and feel quite impressive because they've been beefed up a little from the, for instance, the BangGOD 5-inch, right? I've had the BangGOD 5-inch, and on this one, for instance, you have 5mm arms. Very beefy arms, pretty wide as well. We've got a, what is this, the bottom plate, which looks to be 4mm. Then we've got a top plate, 3mm, 2.5, I'd say 2.5mm. So on the 5-inch version of this frame you do have an optional rear brace, but on the 7-inch it's not optional, you get it regardless. And then we've got a front brace, which is also very substantial, 5mm front brace. I'm sure this is thinner on the 5-inch version. Then you get 2 straps, battery straps with metal buckles, very nice. Then this is the only plastic part, I think. Maybe there's... yeah, this is probably the only. This is a bulkhead, part of the transition from horizontal plates to vertical plates for the camera housing. You'll see that in a minute. It's always interesting to see how manufacturers solve that problem, going from a horizontal plane for the normal plates, right, to the vertical plane for a camera housing. And that's also why a lot of frames don't do that. That's a more difficult part of designing a frame. So yeah, in the BangGOD you've got this elaborate 3D printed part, which will hook up to the bottom and top plates. and to the camera housing, also dampening things a little. This is part of the crash structure, right? If you crash head on into the ground or a tree, this will take a little bit of the grunt of that impact. Okay, so screws, we got a lot of screws here. I also see something I won't be using. Yeah, I'd say Caddx Machineworks don't include these plastic standoffs for your stack. And if you are building a quadcopter, don't use those for your stack either. Use metal bolts for your stack. That'll make your quadcopter definitely fly better. It will eliminate vibrations. Okay, so we do get this rubber ring, which will be mounted in the top plate over here, and you'll run your battery leads through that. So if you are to build a quadcopter with this frame, be sure to put your power leads through this hoop before soldering them to your 4-in-1 ESC. Okay, we got a lot of standoffs and different standoffs than what you're used to probably, and a lot in this frame. You'll see that when I've built the frame. And yeah, the 5-inch version of this frame uses 2 standoffs for the arms. I'll mention that again once I've got the frame assembled. But a lot of things on this frame are a bit more elaborate than in the 5-inch, which is to be expected, right? Okay, so that is what you get. Yeah, one of the things that make this frame special, or a lot of Caddx Machineworks frames special, are these screws, extra strong screws. Yeah, I don't have a means of actually testing them, but maybe you do. Tell me in the comment section below if you've maybe tested those screws to see whether they are actually stronger than normal titanium screws. Okay, what I'll do is I'll assemble this frame and then I'll show you what I came up with. And hachi, there we've got a BangGOD frame, and it went together very easily. I have to say, everything fits well together, there's no guesswork. The only thing I mistakenly did was use a couple of these blue screws at the rear. So Caddx Machineworks thinks that there will be less stress over here. And that does make sense, these screws over here hold on to the arms and the upper plate. So yeah, that's where they use the beefiest of screws. Now I do have a lot of screws left over still, a lot, and this group over here is mostly camera mounting stuff, a couple of spare screws as well. These over here are mostly to mount your motors. You can imagine that with these bars, front and rear, you'll need longer screws to mount your motors. And also they provide strong versions of those screws for that. So yeah, okay, so that's nice. That's what you get with the frame. And we've got 2 spacers over here, which will go at the rear in between the brace and the arm. There's a Hopefully you can see that there's space in between the arm and the brace, and these spacers, carbon fiber spacers, will go there. Yeah, okay, so let's actually see what this frame weighs. That's one of the most important parts for me. Is it too heavy or just the right weight? Let's see. Alrighty, here we go. Make or break time. What does the frame weigh? It really? No. Is that right? That is very heavy. 223 grams? That is definitely heavy. Yeah, obviously it is a 7-inch frame. You can't compare this with a 5-inch frame, but still, this is heavy. Now, that's partly because of this rear brace and the front brace. Most frames don't have braces at all, but for instance my iFlight DC7, which is on the heavy side as well, is 190 grams. Now 30 grams on such a big quadcopter doesn't even matter. You'll be adding a GoPro, right? Maybe even 2 GoPros. So, but still, this is, in case you were wondering, this is definitely not a light frame. And you'll be using a longer screws because of the braces. Yeah, so definitely a heavy frame. This will help it carry speed though, or fly fast in a stable manner. If you've ever tried to fly very fast on a 5-inch quadcopter, you found that it's hard to keep it nice and level and straight, not sway around. On a 7-inch, especially when it carries weight, which is why I'm not building a lightweight 7-inch, it's easier to, well, make fast videos, if you will. So, but again, in case you're wondering, 200, okay, my scale reconsidered. Yeah, let's call it 222.5 grams. So, as this is a review, do I have things to complain about this frame? Well, I've just built it and my fingers are mostly clean. I'd say that this frame comes to you 99% clean. So no carbon dust on the frame. So that's nice. There is hardly, well, there's no chamfering. Everything is machined well. There's no burring on the carbon fiber at all. But there's no chamfering either. It always looks and feels luxurious if carbon fiber plates are chamfered. But it also costs you strength. So yeah, there's a trade-off. But okay, so no chamfering, but well machined. And yeah, there is a camera. Well, there are provisions for an action camera mount over here. You don't get one, which is logical. But it would have been very nice to get at least one more of these standoffs and a couple of screws, so you can print something yourself and then not be without that standoff. You will probably need that extra standoff for any kind of camera mount. There's also no SMA mount for, well, an antenna at the rear, but I can, well, that's not really a mistake or a fault or an omission. What kind of antenna mount should they include, right? DJI or SMA or something. There's all kinds of antenna mounts, so I don't fault them for not including anything. That's okay, and they are easy to find online and print something yourself. You also don't get an anti-skid pad for your battery. And I think none of the Caddx Machineworks frames come with something. That's definitely a bit of a shame. I think it should come with something. I know some people use anti-skid mats, other people use Velcro, so maybe that's why they don't include something, but well, this is not an inexpensive frame. I think they should include at least something. And that is basically all the complaining I have to do about this frame. It is super duper stiff, I have to say. And the motors aren't even on, and that will stiffen up the frame even more because the braces aren't connected to the arms at this point at all. So this frame will definitely be very, very stiff. Yeah, so that's nice. And yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about crashing this frame either. It looks and feels very beefy. Okay, again, like I mentioned, this was the kickoff for a build series. And there will be a link again to the playlist for this build series in the upper right corner. Maybe you have input on this build series. At the moment I'm still planning out things and ordering things, so feel completely free to make suggestions about the parts or the way I'm building things. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.